I would say there's three main things everyone needs to get your dream job. The first is passion. You know what passion is, guys? Passion is loving what you do. I hope everyone has that. I hope this is it. Okay, this has got to be you. You have got to love what you do. Okay, you've got to think about it day and night. You would do this even if you weren't even paid. Right? You do it on Saturdays and Sundays. You do it for free. Make sure that that box is checked in your life. That you always have passion for what you do. Because when you stop having passion for what you do, then you may get a job, but you might not get your dream job. Make sure that you have passion. Okay? Second thing, and you guys have already said, skill. There's no way around it. You have to have skill. You've got to be good at what you do, right? Let's say if everything is equal, both two candidates both have passion, they both love what they do, but one person's skill is a little bit better than the other, who's going to get the job? The guy with skill. So always, skill is the great equalizer. It's the trump card. So, now you all probably have come to this university with a certain level of skill, right? You think you're pretty good at what you do, Yeah. Some illustrators may think that they're good, some animators, some fashion merchandising. You're pretty good now, but by the time you graduate, your skill level is going to be up here. So, I caution you, or I don't caution you, I just implore you to keep practicing your skill, whatever it is, every day. Okay? Your skill level's here. By the time you graduate, it's going to be here. But I guarantee you, when you're out in the job market looking for that dream job, you're going to be competing against people whose skills are here. Every day, practice your skill, no matter what it is. Okay? Even when you graduate, keep practicing your skill every day. It's important. How do you let people know that you have all this passion? How do you let people know that I'm good at what I do? You've got to let people know. And that's either through talking, networking, talking to folks, making connections, or it's through things like your resume and your portfolio and cover letters and your logos and your marketing material. Okay, that's how you let people know. So, marketing basically is any time you sell the benefits of a product or a service. So, who is the product? You guys. You guys are going to be the product. So you got to think of yourself as the product going forward. So you have to be the best product on the shelf. You have to be the best product on the shelf. So what do you do then to think of yourself as the product? Okay? If you're an artist or a painter, what do you think about when you create your stuff? If people look at my work, or see my films, or see me act, or see me draw, what do I want them to think about or walk away with? So what's your brand? What's inside of you? So if you can think about that at night, think about that. What kind of artist? If you ask your friends, if you describe my work, how would you describe my work? Think of some adjectives. Who am I? Who are you as an artist? Okay. Second thing I want you to think about is the second W. Is the what. Okay? What do I do? What is it that I do? Okay? Think about your career, your industry, and what is it exactly do you do? If you're an animator, what do you do? You just don't animate. There's a lot of other things you do prior to having something move, an animation move. You have to design, you have to collaborate. What are all the things you do? Okay? So no matter what your industry is, whether you're a web designer, whether you're a fashion merchandiser, think of all of the things you do to finish that product. From just conceptualizing it, then drawing it, then I need to collaborate with my co-workers, then I need to model it, color it, and then finally, animate it. Those are all those verbs that you need to do to create the final product. So think about whatever it is you guys do. What are all the things that you do to create your final product? Because when you go to an interview, when he asks you, okay, so what do you do? You're going to be able to explain the entire process of what you do. You have thought about your process. Okay? So at night, just think about what you do, and think about all the things you've done in your career so far, in your young career so far. Okay? Think of any school projects that you've done. Any freelance stuff you've done for your family and friends. Anything that you've done in relationship to what your industry is. Okay? I was talking to one student who said, we were working on her job resume, and she says, I have no experience to put on my resume. I said, well, think about it, okay? So, have you done any freelance stuff? No. Have you done any projects for family and friends? No. And she said, wait a minute, well, I did something for my mother. I said, well, explain that to me. She said, well, my sister was getting married. This was an illustration student. My sister was getting married. My mother wanted to save money on invitations. So she asked me to design the invitations and produce them, and give them to the printer. Design the invitations and produce them. So she did that. Drew up the invitations and produced the invitations. I said, well, that is experience. That is, you are a freelance contractor. You have a customer, it's your mother, but still, it's a customer who is asking you to use your skill to satisfy her requirement. That is good enough to put on a resume. You are now a freelance consultant because you're using your skill to satisfy a customer requirement. Okay? So think about all the things you've done in your life that relate to your skill, and just drop them into that second bucket. The third bucket is, okay, so where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Where do I want to go in my life? Do I want to work at an organization? Do I want to be a freelance contractor? Do I want to start my own business? Where do I want to go? Okay? So if you think about these things every night, who am I as an artist? What are all the things I've done? And then where do I want to go? Because this then leads to something that I call the elevator pitch. Who knows what an elevator pitch is? Let's just say you've just graduated from the Academy of Art University with an animation degree, and you go over there to Pixar, and you want to visit there. On the second floor they have a museum, History of Animation. You just want to go there and look at the museum. So you're over there, you go walk to the lobby, you see the museum's on the second floor, so you press the elevator. You get into the elevator in the second floor to go up to the second floor. Well, someone from the lobby yells, hey, hold that elevator. And then you hold the elevator, and in walks this middle-aged guy with a Starbucks coffee, and you recognize his name. That's John Lasseter. Okay. So John Lasseter, if anyone doesn't know, he is Mr. Disney. He runs Disney. He's the head of Pixar. He invented Toy Story. He is as big as you can get in animation. He gets on the elevator with you. Okay? There you are. You and him in the elevator. You're getting off on the second floor. He's going up to the executive suite on the 7th floor. So there you are. This is your window of opportunity. If you ever wanted to work at Pixar, this is it. This is your time. If you have thought about these three things every single night, who am I? What have I done? Where do I want to go? You can somehow, in less than a minute, by the time it takes from the first floor to the second floor, let him know who you are, what you do, and where you want to go. It takes practice to kind of get that all into 30 seconds or a minute. But if you could do that, that is like gold. If you can practice your elevator pitch and have that just come out just flowing like water, that's gold. That is the key to networking. Okay? So no matter who you are, you may not, it's the worst thing in the world is to be in that situation where you've got your idol, your rock star, standing next to you, and you don't say anything. And all you do is go home and tell your family and friends, guess who I was in the elevator with? There's really 3 ways to go to an art path. There's the 9 to 5, the employee art path, right? That's if you want to work for an organization. You want to work for an organization. There's a lot of benefit for working for an organization, right? They pay your paychecks. You have an office. At the end of the day, you can turn the light off and you can go home. They take care of all of your benefits. There's a lot of good stuff in that, in being a 9 to 5 employee, right? 9 to 5 employee. How many people think they want to work for an organization when they get out of school? Okay. There's a lot of good benefits in working for an organization, right? If you turn to, there's a diagram in here of the pyramid. Okay? So that's the employee art path. Okay? That's the employee art path. Now, there's different levels in an organization, right? There's different levels of an organization. So, who can give me any industrial designers here? Graphic designer, some graphic designers. There's 2 of them, right? 2 graphic designers. Okay, is there a particular company that's really good in graphic design? Think of anything?
Ed Hardy.
Where?
Ed Hardy.
Ed Hardy? That's the organization?
They're a printing house. They
Okay.
print clothes.
All right. Well, let's say there is a chief designer position at Ed Hardy, right? Okay? And that's up here. Okay? All right. So let's say you've just graduated with your degree in graphic design, and you're applying for a lot of places, and you want to apply for this position at Ed Hardy. Well, that's your dream job right here. But down here at the base, where the base of the pyramid is larger, which means there are more entry-level jobs down here, right? Entry-level jobs at the base. So, your objective is just to get a position here, okay? Just get a position here. For example, you apply to a position here and you get, let's say you're a junior designer, junior graphic designer. And let's just say your job every day is to attend these big meetings where all of the mid-level and senior designers are, and your only job is, at the end of the meeting, your job is to clean up all of the papers on the table, all designs, clean off the whiteboards, and turn the lights off. Okay? That's your job. That is your job. Okay? As an entry-level position. Well, I say your main thing to do at that job is to make sure that you are the best paper picker-upper, whiteboard cleaner, turn off the light person they have ever seen. That is your thing you need to do. Because I guarantee you, someone is watching you. Someone is watching you. And so, when there is a designer position that opens up on the second floor. Well, they're going to put a requisition out there, but they're going to say, wait a minute, remember that junior level employee who comes to the meetings and he's there every single day and taking notes and passionate about what they do? Let's interview her. You may start here at Ed Hardy as entry level, and you may go to another company at another level, at this level, and you spend 2 or 3 years there, and then you go to another company, spend 2 or 3 years there, but eventually you'll get to your dream job. You'll get there, okay? By passion, by hard work, and by skill. The other way is to be an entrepreneur, or to be a freelancer. Just to be a freelance person. So what's a freelancer? That's someone who works a number of different jobs. You know, they have their own schedule. They make as much money as they want in good days, good weeks, good months. But when things aren't, not enough jobs, they may not make a lot of money. Okay, so you have to kind of balance your workload. You have to continually look for new positions, continually sell your skills. That's the freelancer. Okay? So the second way is being a freelance artist. So yeah, there are a lot of benefits to being able to, stay home and work as much as you want, work from your bedroom, set your own work hours, make as much money as you want, then again, maybe not as much, take vacations when you want. That's the world of a freelancer. Okay, that appeals to a lot of folks. On the flip side, though, you got to now start taking care of all of your budgeting. You may not have benefits. You've got to pay for your own benefits. If you have a problem, it's you. You can't go to your boss. It's you. Everything you do, every piece of work you do has to be the best. Okay? You can't rely on people at the office. One bad piece of work that comes out of your shop or out of you could ruin you, because word of mouth, being a freelancer, can really, really hurt you. Okay, so everything has to be the best. That appeals to some folks. That doesn't appeal to other folks. Okay, so that's definitely one way to go. And the last way is just being an entrepreneur. Okay. That's really just kind of starting your own business. I would say that everyone should be a freelancer right now. You should always be freelancing, okay? While you keep your eye on the goal of being an entrepreneur. A lot of people even have a 9-to-5 job, but they're still freelancing on the side, okay? Everybody's art path is different, okay? And I just implore each of you now, as you're going through this university and throughout your career, to just keep your options open. Don't be, just totally focused on this one position, this one job. Keep your options as wide open as you can. There's more workshops. This is just kind of the basic workshops of having you to think about these 3 things. Who am I as an artist? What are all the things I've done? And where do I want to go? And that leads kind of to your elevator pitch, to be able to kind of throw that pitch out to whoever you meet. We have other workshops that, are lead on to this, that after we figure out who we are, then we create our resumes and cover letters. Okay? That's the next thing we need to, I want you guys, next workshop.